have the VW012 from Vibeworks guitars. This is a single cut style solid body with 2 humbuckers, and we'll jump into the other features that this has. So first, this is a Alder body, and obviously all the pickups and control cavities are routed out. This is for the switch, our two humbucker pickups, and then our controls here. We have our pilot holes drilled for the bridge, as well as this little notch here that might be concerning when you first get your guitar kit. I get a lot of questions about this. Sometimes people open up their guitar kit and say, oh, it got damaged during shipping, what's going on? It's not. That's actually a hole drilled from under the bridge all the way out to this control cavity for your bridge ground wire. So that is intentional. It looks alarming just because it's drilled at a very steep angle in order to get into that cavity. And then, of course, the bridge will cover that up, so that's not even a cosmetic issue. This is made to have a surface mount style bridge, so there's not a string through holes. Although we'll look at the bridge, it does have that option. As we look at the neck, we have a maple neck with a maple fretboard, unshaped headstock, so you can add the shape that you choose on that. A dual action truss rod is pre-installed, and all the frets are leveled and dressed really nicely, so it should be fairly close to being ready to play right out of the box. There might be a little thing to address here and there as the guitar gets under tension. As temperatures have fluctuated, there might be a little bit of setup to do. However, it should be almost all the way ready to go right out of the box. All of our guitar kits, I always point out, they're numbered on the body and the neck because they're matched to the factory for a good snug fit. And you can see this one, we have a good fit, not a lot of gaps. Slipped out on there. So it should be easy to put in without any kind of modification, no sanding, no shimming, nothing. You should be ready to go as soon as you apply your finish. The pick guard that comes with the kit is a 3-ply pick guard with our controls holes for the switch, as well as our 2-tone and 2-volume and our humbucker pickups. One thing I'll note, while most of the holes are pre-drilled on our guitar kits, we don't do pilot holes for the pick guards, and that's by design. The reason is the screws for the pick guards might not always be in a consistent uniform configuration. If you were to buy another pick guard like this at your local shop or online, the holes may not match up. If you were to do something in a custom material, something different, obviously they wouldn't match up. So we leave that option open so that you have that option to use this pick guard or something else. If you use the standard pick guard or whatever pick guard you use, we do recommend going through and drilling some pilot holes quickly for that to make sure that you don't have anything splitting or going in crooked or whatever that might be. As we look at the hardware, we have our 2 pickups, bridge and neck. One thing I'll note on this guitar kit, similar to the semi-hollow that matches this, the pickups come with these plastic pickup rings. However, they're not used in this kit. So the pick guard itself acts as the mounting point rather than using these pickup rings. So as you go to build the guitar kit, you can take these plastic rings off, toss them, throw them in your bin of spare parts, whatever you want to do. But you would not install those on top. If you installed that on top, the pickup would be way too high. So take that out, but retain the spring and the screws, and those will just mount right into the pick guard. We have our 6 inline style tuners. By the way, those are a 10mm hole in the neck, so standard with any other tuner that you might want to buy if you decide to upgrade those now or down the road. 4 plastic knobs, our neck plate and plastic bushing, output jack on a square plate. We have a set of strings. These are great for setup as you're putting tension on the neck and taking it off and putting it on, taking it off. They're good for that. And then Most people will replace these with their the preferred brand once the guitar is set up and playing nice. Three-way switch, some wire for our controls, and then our bridge. And I'll show something on this. This is considered, a hardtail bridge, which would be standard on this style of guitar kit. One thing I'll note, we have our 6 holes along the back for the ball end of the string as they go through. However, we do have another a set of 6 holes in line underneath each of the saddles. So the reason for that is that this bridge can be used either as a surface mount with the strings at the back or as a string through. So if we were to mount this, as I mentioned, the holes aren't there. You'd have to drill the holes for the string through, as well as get the bullet ends for the back of the guitar to hold the strings in place, if you decided to go that route. Of course, it works great as just the surface mount. Some people prefer the string through. The bridge can accommodate both if you want to do a little bit of custom work to get that to be a string through the body. We have our output cable, as well as a Allen key for the truss rod adjustment and a small Allen key for bridge adjustments. Here we have the rest of our hardware. We have our 4 neck screws, our tuner bushings, washers, and set screws, pickup mounting screws, pick guard mounting screws. That's the 3rd time I've done that today. We have our 4 small screws for the output jack. We have our screws for the bridge, our strap knobs, 4 pots, 2 for tone, 2 for volume, as well as our tone capacitors, string tees, and washers and nuts for the 4 pots. In terms of complexity on this kit, I'd consider this probably an intermediate level. The bolt-on neck makes it nice. And one nice aspect too is that all the controls, other than the output jack, are mounted right to the pick guard. So you can do a lot of your soldering right on this pick guard on your bench rather than hovering over your guitar. And then just make your last connection with your output jack as you put things in place. However, the reason I call this an intermediate and not a beginner is all the wiring is, nothing is pre-wired. You're wiring your 4 pots, your pickups, your output jack, your switch, your ground wire, all of that from scratch. We do have wiring diagrams on our site to help with that, guide you along as you're doing that. However, that is a bit of soldering that if you're not completely comfortable, that's going to be a learning curve. I'm of the opinion that anybody can learn to solder. There might be some trial and error, some learning curve, but anybody can do it. So I wouldn't let that stop you. If you are interested in this guitar kit, other than that, don't let it stop you. Learn a new skill. It's something that you can do. There's lots of great tutorials out there, and you probably have a friend that can guide you along as well. So it's a great guitar kit. You can do a really nice finish on this or a quick finish. Totally up to you. Once the finish is on the guitar, the wiring probably takes about a half an hour, and the rest of the assembly less than an hour. So it will go together quick once the finish is on the guitar. So this is the VW012 single cut solid body style guitar kit from Vibeworks Guitars.